buy Brock Bowers before week number 7 kicks off. I know he's not playing week 7. He's doubtful. I get it, the bye week. But this man's going to be well rested. This man's going to be closer to coming back. The news is going to kick into gear. Everyone's going to start talking about buying him low. Right now, you're 2 weeks away from being able to play him. And again, that's good because he's going to rest. He's going to be fully, you're going to start hearing fully healthy, not going to be hampered, finally able to play fully healthy. You're going to start hearing those things 1 week from now. So you bite the bullet, you take the blow now, you go get the man, you put him on your roster, and you wait for glory. He will be drafted by you. You drafted him in round 2. If you drafted him, you're probably losing games. And probably drafted very badly around Brock Bowers. They're very susceptible to a deal they shouldn't make. Billy is walking in the elevator with his stack of TPS reports, and he falls. He drops them all over the place, and he gets your text message, and your text message reads, "I'll send you Keenan Allen and whatever for your Brock Bowers." And he's so upset because his TPS reports are scattered all over the elevator. He's looking at Brock Bowers' mug saying, "You failed me. You weren't there for me. You're gone." And in the heat of the moment, he presses the button. Don't undersell the opportunity that's sitting in front of you to go get Brock Bowers on the cheap. Do it now. We got Puka Nacua news. Probably going to miss just the 1 week. Marvin Harrison Jr., is he going to play? It appears he's passed through the protocol. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Make your offers. Send them out. Get the offers out. Make sure you're acquiring Brock Bowers on the cheap. You got a couple people in the chat already saying they've had him on the trade block. No bites. Nobody wants him. So there's two types of people in this world. Those that own Brock Bowers and those that don't own Brock Bowers. If you already own him, you're unfortunately in a bad spot. No one's biting. Evidence in the live chat by multiple people. No one's biting. No one's coming for Brock Bowers at all. So you hold him. You hold him and you wait. You hold him and you wait. Here's V giving you such evidence right now. I put Bowers on the trade block and no one's biting. That's going to continue to be the case. Hold him, wait. The other type of person in this world is the one that did not draft Brock Bowers. You're the one that's going to go steal him away. And it's going to be league winning. The cost of entry is low. You could give up a Monty or less. You could give up a Keenan Allen. You could probably keep Monty. You could give up Quentin Johnston coming back from injury. You could give up something along those lines. You could give up another tight end. Let's say you have a guy like Goddard who's playing great. I've seen Goddard get swapped out for Brock Bowers. And what's somebody going to say? Veto that. Brock Bowers missing 2 more weeks. Goddard's getting underhand granny passes from Jalen Hurts on the weekly. Who's going to say no to that? And you got to throw in a little more. Do it. The veto police will be after you. Throw in a little more. But you can make these things happen. People that are struggling with Brock Bowers are desperate. And they're going to get rid of him for pennies on the dollar. Looking at this Puka Nacua situation, look, good news is coming. And while we don't know where Bucky stands, we don't know where Buka stands. Is it 1 more week? Is it going to be after the bye week? Puka Nacua, according to his head coach, very optimistic that Puka Nacua ankle will play after the team's week 8 bye. He will miss 1 game. He will sit out 1 bye week, be fully healthy, come back, and he will be ready to rumble. This is also a very good buy low. The reason the bye week's important for Bowers and for Puka Nacua to have this bye week attached to a missed game, it feels like 2 games, but it's not 2 games. Everyone, unless you're trading for Bijan, London, Adunze, players that have had their bye, the select few players that have already had their bye, everyone's going to have their bye. So majority of the players you're trading to go get Puka, go get Bowers, they're going to have their bye anyway. This bye week just happens to be a gift set right next to the one game that they're going to miss and give the player time to heal. This is also somebody you could go get a lot cheaper than you should right now before the 2 weeks start to kick off of being absent without Puka Nacua. So we need to consider buying Puka Nacua. Now there comes a lot of injury risk with Puka Nacua, but there comes with an equal, maybe greater amount of massive upside. Brock Bowers, knee close to returning. That's another report piggybacking off of what I just told you. We've got a whole bunch of other news real quickly to get through. CeeDee Lamb, not even on the injury report. Guys full go for week number 7. He even said he could play last week, but they decided to sit him down one more week just to make sure he has no setbacks whatsoever and can play totally unhindered. And he'll be full go, no restrictions. CeeDee Lamb is back, ready to lamb chop your local league mate. Get lambed. Get lambed.
Get lambed.
Lamb's gonna explode. So is Dak and the boys, to be frank.
Oh, Dak attack. Oh, Dak attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb. Pickens. Dak attack. Dak attack. Dak attack. Dak attack.
Dak is ready to rumble. Lamb's ready to rumble. Don't think Pickens is slowing down. I mean, he's not going to do what he did last week every week, but he will still be a baller. And his rapport has been ignited between Dak and himself, and that's not going away. It's a blessing in disguise in a way that Lamb missed time. Quentin Johnston, hamstring is not on the final injury report, so people are going to shy away from our boy Ladd McConkey, who is the Gunner Player of the Week, brought to you by Gunner.com.
The Gunner Player of the Week.
Brought to you by Gunner.com.
On that note, 15% off using code Smitty, and link is in the description of the video, by the way. Code Smitty, 15% off, link in description. Let's swap out the Gunners while we're at the Gunner rack. Let's go from the Maverick Chrome to the... Man, do we go to the Witcher from the TV show Witcher, which they have so many amazing and cool partnerships with? The Witcher with these like leather sides to them. These are the amber yellow. We love these. These are fantastic. But we also have the Witcher with the sunglass tint. These are the same thing. They have that leather side on the it's nice stitching too on the sides. These are Witcher sunglass tint, blue light blocking. Both of them are blue light blocking. Let's roll. I know a lot of you love these yellow amber tint. I do like these as well. But we're going to go with the sunglass tint. I'll put these back right here on the Gunner rack. Again, Gunner, let me drop that link for you in the live chat. Get a pair of Gunners like your boy Smitty. Love this brand. There's nothing that excites me more inside my studio. All my gadgets, all the toys and different things that I have in here. Nothing excites me more than get a pair of Gunner glasses. Boom, there's a link. Hit that link. Nothing excites me more than my selection of Gunners, honestly. Quentin Johnston, everyone's going to start doubting our player of the week, our Gunner.com player of the week. But buy him. Go buy Ladd McConkey right now. Let this news kind of deflate the balloon of the Ladd McConkey owner. Ladd McConkey is going to be a low-end wide receiver 1, probably bare minimum, and you don't have to buy him there. You're buying him as a wide receiver 2 of sorts, and in a worst-case scenario, he earns you back that. Don't buy him like a wide receiver 1 because you don't have to. You're also protecting yourself if things do go astray, and I end up being slightly wrong on his overall outcome. You're getting what you paid for. Even when you're wrong, even when I'm wrong, we won't be wrong because you're buying at the right price, right? Right. Do it live. Lad McConkey, go get him.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Don't whiff on that. Do not whiff on that. Make sure you're doing the appropriate thing in terms of the buying. I hate when people come in here and go, Smitty, I did what you said. I traded CD Lamb for Lad McConkey, and we're like, Hassan Haskins chest questionable for week 7. This kind of popped up. That Vidal would go crazy if Haskins was out. Not that Vidal won't anyway, but Vidal is going to be very good for the next 4 or 5 weeks. Kyle Shanahan talked about getting his tight end back. George Kittle hamstring. Start him if you've got him, but this is a player I'm selling to go if I've got Fannin or some other player on my roster, Goddard, whatever. I'm going to go rogue at tight end, start Fannin. Fannon's got Njoku out for a good amount of time with a pretty serious knee injury. So Fannon's going to the moon. And if you've got Kittle, you can go get that wide receiver that you shouldn't be able to get right now, or that running back upgrade. Mac Jones, oblique, was removed from the injury report. Knee, oblique. How do you remove a guy that has a near bionic knee at this point from the injury report? The injury report's becoming such a joke. Mac Jones is not deserving to be removed from the injury report. Juwan Jennings, ankle, rib, shoulder, removed from the injury report. What a joke. They'll all be back on the injury report next week. They're not healthy. Jacoby Myers' knee, toe is questionable to play week 7. Probably a proper designation. We'll have to see if he ends up playing. We'll have to monitor that one. Josh Jacobs, I think he'll probably play. Illness, calf. We got to watch the calf, though. Calf injuries are very concerning. They can often lead to Achilles tendon tears. So the Packers have to be smart with this one. Is it a calf strain or is it an actual calf tear? If it's a calf tear, they have to be careful with this. Make sure you got them backed up, and we'll monitor that to see if there's any real concern there. Hopefully, it's just a little bit of a strain. Calvin Ridley has been ruled out, which means that you're gonna probably want to roll with A.O. Manor. If you got him and you're in dire straits. There's a lot of other players that we could consider here in this situation. Not real excited about anybody on the Titans roster, to be honest, but there's definitely some players that we could dig into in a second. But just know that Ridley will be unavailable for you in week number 7. We got McCarthy set to be emergency quarterback for the Vikings. Wentz will play. Will start. Wentz is deliver footballs in ways that Kyler can't. We'll find out, won't we? 49ers ruled out Brock Purdy, toe, and Ricky Pearsall, both ruled out for the game. Mac Jones starts, and again, Juwan Jennings, with all of the injuries that he has, is off the injury report somehow. Garrett Wilson, doubtful for week 7. I do believe Garrett Wilson is still a consideration for a trade, assuming he can get healthy enough to pass physicals, and get offloaded. We'll see. Miami Mike McDaniel said that trade rumors about his players are baseless. Forgive me if I don't believe a single thing this belligerent man is saying at the podium. We can't even understand him. Does anybody have the transcript? Did he even say this, or did he blah, 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 blah? We don't know a word this man's saying. We don't know a word he's saying. He's belligerent at the podium, and no one has a clue of what he's saying. He's getting worse by the day. And there's a lot of growing concern about what's really going on with Miami Mike McDaniel. And the idea of him staying in command is asinine at this point. That's all that comes out of his mouth at the podium. Terry McLaurin, head coach Dan Quinn said Terry McLaurin, quad, will not play week 7, but he's inching closer and closer to a return. He's a good buy low too if you could get him, not so much 1-for-1, but in some sort of like 2-for-2 where McLaurin gets thrown in and you're kind of balancing the scales of a trade. And it's just something that's kind of an attractive additive to a trade if you can pull one off. Let's get straight to these super chats. Appreciate everybody that's here tonight. You guys absolutely rock. We got Laughing with the super chat here with his capital letter full team breakdown novel sitting right here in all caps. Makes it so easy to read it, Laughing. It looks like one block. Looks like someone drew a circle of I don't know what I'm looking at here. JD5 Stafford, JT, Steven. I feel like you're yelling your team at me here. We got We got JD5 Stafford, JT Stevenson, Hendy, Bill, Cooten, Lamb, Moore, Trey. Pick one or pick two wide receiver 2 and a second flex. No, 2 flex. Wide receiver 2 and 2 flex. Any trades? My wide receiver 2. So obviously you're starting Lamb Chops. I somehow DJ Moore's playing. He goes to the hospital. They got him on you know, in the urgent care, like ICU, and then he's playing. Like, who the hell knows what's going on there? I would probably say it's Trey Tucker, right? So I'd say Hunter, and you're gonna start JT. This is a tough situation, I'm not gonna lie. JT, Bill with the Dallas Cowboy matchup. And then I don't know who I'm starting. You could say your safe call. You'd probably start Fannin at tight end. Your safe call would probably be, geez, man. Is it Hollywood Brown? Chat, vote. Hollywood Brown or Hendy? Hendy or Hollywood Brown? Very, very tough call. I'd probably say with trades, you know, maybe let Lamb go do Lamb things, and then we consider next week dividing and conquer. JT, I'd rather we wait a week, see what's up with this squad. You're 1-5. I know that's tough, but let's see what those two can do for you. Let's assess it after. We still have time to do a divide and conquer and have you win out. But I'd hate for you to divide JT or Lamb unless somebody comes to you with an offer you can't refuse. Like, let's say it's Nico and Judkins for one of them. Then you consider it. If you want to go knocking on that offer, or a Genti and Nico, and you give up a Hollywood Brown or a DJ Moore, like, certainly by all means try and attack one of those trades. But I'd almost say let's see what this does with Lamb and JT firing off, and then go from there. Let's see if JD5 can also get on his horse. But we might have to do a divide and conquer next week if you end up losing this game. I would say stand down for now and trust the chat. Hendy, everyone's saying Hendy. I guess I go Hendy as well, my boy. Especially with Rushy Rice back. Like, Hollywood's probably going to take a step backwards. Sold Jalen, Warren, Worthy, Ladd, and Rico for ETN, Gibbs, and Olave. You did good work. Smitty approved. Love the trade. Have Bowers in 6 leagues. I'm in, says Overcome. Don't blame you. Nice work. Hold. Start 1. Whittington, Tez, A.O. Manor, Hunter, Booty. I probably go Hunter personally. I know a lot of people are worried about him. They want to focus on him, using him as a number 1. And I'm very much on board of the trusting Hunter. He's still getting targets. He needs more yards, of course, but this is still a player I fully believe in coming around at some point. He's an uber talent. And the good news is his coach keeps talking about getting him the ball more. He continues to say things like, I want to put him in a position to explode. I want to put him in a position to make him as a featured number 1 wide receiver. I want to make him the wide receiver 1 more often. So there's a lot of opportunity here for Travis Hunter, I still believe. Was that the question here? Travis Hunter, yeah, okay. And Booty's not bad. If you're apprehensive and you want to go Booty, I understand. 1 tight end, 1 flex, wide receiver 1, Bourne, Tet, Brees, Kittle, Tyler Warren, Tez, Shaheed. 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 wide receiver 1. I mean, I guess you're obviously going with your tight end. You're going Tyler Warren. You're probably gonna roll with Brees Hall as your flex, and your wide receiver 1 if you're choosing 1. So, you got Kittle. So Kittle, Warren, and Brees maybe. You could go Tet over Kittle with his first game back, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Chat, do we go start 2 out of Tet, Brees, Kittle? Start 2. Tet, Brees, Kittle, please start 2. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you for the super chat, Jose. Jose to the moon. Let's go with the chat vote on that one. Chat, please, everybody vote on that one. Smitty, would you drop Woody or Harvey for Vidal? I wouldn't drop Harvey, and I don't want to drop Woody, but if you put me in a vacuum and I got to make that call, I'm going to go Vidal. Vidal shouldn't be on your waiver wire, bro. You almost should take a lap for allowing that to still exist. I mean, Vidal's a potential running back, high-end running back 2 for the next month. Should I trade my Mike Evans? But monitor Woody Marks, please. Should I trade my Mike Evans and Scatterboo for Achane? I probably would, yes. I would take Achane. He's a force, bro. Need to start one. Dowdle, Vidal, Keenan Allen, or Ladd. I probably still start. Man, Vidal's a good. If Haskins sits out the game, Vidal might be the safest play here. But I don't know that I'm sitting Dowdle after what he's been doing. I think you'd probably not sleep at night if Dowdle went out and dropped another 150-yard game. I know everyone's worried about Chuba, but it's going to take time for Chuba to get even 50% of the work if he was going to. Bucky is hurting me. Trade him for ETN and Bowers. I'm accepting of that trade situation. I am. You're waiting a long time for Bucky. Some people can't wait. I get it. I understand it. I approve that trade. 10-man PPR Dynasty. Try and get Tootin though. Dynasty traded Trey Tucker and a first rounder and a 26 second for Nico. That's a home run. That's a ridiculous trade. Fantastic job. Hope you don't have vetoes in your league. Vetoes suck anyway. Should I trade Saquon for Hall and Bowers? Saquon for Hall and Bowers. Probably. I think that's a good move to make. Unless you're winning with what you got, why change what isn't broken? But I think I take a gamble there. 12-man PPR, start 2 in the flex. Coker, Fannin, Hunter, Hendy. I'm probably going to go with, I would go Hunter and I would go Fannin. Those would be the safest calls for this situation, but obviously we're hoping Hendy gets in there and knocks him out of the equation later. 2 and 4 just traded Hurts, AJB, and Quinshon Judkins for London Henry and Josh Allen. I love the London Henry, Josh Allen side. That is a home run. Fantastic work, my friend. Start 2, Bill, Dowdle, Vidal, Evans, Tet. Chat, vote on this one. Is it Dowdle and Vidal, or is it Dowdle and Tet, or is it Vidal and Tet? Please vote. Pick 2 between. And Evans, I'm almost there, but with the injury coming back from it, I think you have 2 good options to go in that direction now. You maybe trade Evans. You got a good trade on your hands, trade opportunity. But guys, pick 2. Dowdle, Vidal, Tet McMillan. Please pick 2 for our boy James. Little group think never hurt nobody. And honestly, when people complain about me going to the audience, Smitty, imagine like somebody every like four shows, somebody comments, imagine paying someone $5 and having them ask the audience. The audience is a great source of groupthink. Like, it's wild to me that isn't somebody's like desire to get a big, massive amount of people to vote on it. It's insane to me. Got an offer in my inbox, JT and Rice for CMC and Adams. Honestly, I'd rather have JT and Rice. It's a really close call, but JT over CMC going forward for me, and then you got Rice over Adams anyway, so you win both sides of this deal. So you're smashing. Joe, appreciate your super chat, my man. You commented on Patreon, but wanted to hear thoughts on Bucky for a Buka trade. 12-man. Look, I think Buka is a better chance of coming back to full strength a little quicker than Bucky, but anything can happen. And Rachaad White will probably be in the minds of this coaching staff to say, let's ease Bucky in, whereas Buka's not getting eased into anything. He's just going out there. So it's a little bit different in terms of workload. That's the only reason I'm shifting toward Buka versus Bucky. And we have I think we have a little bit clearer picture that Buka's maybe safer to come back in the 2 games versus Bucky. Bucky's putting up all these, prayer messages and like things happen for a reason. And it's just a little concerning to continue to see Bucky talking like that instead of like, hey, next week is it. You know what I mean? Like, are you putting those messages up if you're really close? I don't know. Those are the only things that go through my mind. I'm not saying don't trade for Bucky at the right price. I'm not saying panic and get rid of him. I'm just saying I do believe that Buka is a little bit safer, but that could change too in the snap of a finger. I'm in last place. Would you trade JD5 for Pickens? JD5 for Debo and QJ. I'd rather have Pickens, and you can pick up Love. So give me Pickens and Love over JD5. Yes, I think if you're in last place and you need to make a trade and a change, that will be the most optimal scenario for you. And Pickens is a damn fine wide receiver. I'm 5-1, 10-team league. Got Herbert, Love, CMC, JT, Monty, Rico, Puka, Ted. Your team's great. Tyler Warren. I was offered Bowers for Rico. Thoughts on that? Tyler Warren, you don't really need him, but that's a damn good offer. And you've got tremendous running back situation. I probably would take Bowers, and then that gives me some trade opportunity. So, yeah, I would trade Garrett Wilson and Dowdle for Buka. I think that one's pretty close and kind of depends on your belief in Dowdle. I'd probably say give me Buka if you can wait. If you can't wait, I don't know. And thank you for the double message on that. You did send it twice. Garrett Wilson. Oh, no, difference. This is a different message. Garrett Wilson and Dowdle for... No, it's the same thing. Yeah, chat, vote on that one. $20 hauler from Travis.
Alert.
Travis, appreciate
Super
you
chat alert.
with the $20 wad, my boy. Travis to the motherfreaking moon says 4-2. Kyler, Staff, H.N. Hampton, Mason, JCM, BTJ, Rome, Buka. Moves was offered Hall and Rice and Vidal for my H.N. and Pittman. I would take, man, that's a close one. I would probably take the Rice, Vidal, Hall side because I think Rice and H.N. are closer than people think. He also has JT, Bijan, CD. Want one of those guys. If I was to try and get one of those guys, I would probably say, so it was offered Hall. So I'd probably take that trade. However, that might eliminate you doing a second trade. Would I rather you trade, let's say, Roma Dunze for CD and you give up Mason or Hampton or JCM and Mason or JCM and Hampton? Probably. But getting that other trade done would probably be just fine. And you could trade Hall and Mason, Hall and BTJ, Hall and Rome for one bigger monster. You try and swing for a JJ, etc. So I think either way, this other trade opens a door for you to get more done. And you get Vidal to Hampton. And that's not only good for trade discussions to send both packing, but it secures you as well. DJ Moore for Terry. I'd rather have Terry. Maybe Terry owner is impatient. Absolutely. I like that idea a lot. That's a smart move. I think Terry McLaurin is look, we called it, from the beginning. The holdout would cause him problems. It has, but now it's time to maybe go shopping. I love when you involve the chat, makes us feel part of the show. Ertz or Fannin to the moon. And on that note, vote for the man. He just asked for it. Does Bill Castle start Fannin or Ertz? I'll tell you right now, the chat's going to say Fannin because we're a Fannin people is what we are. Adrian, appreciate you with the super chat. I have McBride, Warren, and let's see. I have McBride, Warren, and the Bowers owner wants my Warren and Olave for his Bowers. I'd rather have Warren than Bowers. This is a buy Bowers show, and I'm still telling you, Warren might be the number one tight end in fantasy football. So there's no way I'm making that trade, and that's just his fault. But you do need to maybe trade McBride and go get a wide receiver. McBride and a receiver for JJ. McBride and a running back to upgrade a running back slightly. Like, you do need to make a move because you're sitting on too much talent, unless I've read that wrong, and you are required to start two tight ends. I'm 4-2. Someone dropped Benson. Is he worth an IR spot? If you don't have anybody else in the IR spot, sure. Then throw him in the IR spot for sure. My running backs would be H.N. Gibbs, Gordon, Rashard Smith. I have one bench spot available, but you're saying put him in the IR spot. I mean, it depends who you'd have to take out of the IR spot. My running backs would be Gibbs, H.N. So who's coming out? Yeah, I'd throw him in IR, but it depends on who you drop. Would I rather have Benson over Rashard Smith? I don't know. Rashard Smith, we're still waiting to come around. I probably would, let's say in a week or two from now, want Benson over Rashard Smith. So maybe for right now, I wait. Pickens for Buka. But I'd take him and put him on IR for sure. Pickens for Buka. I'd rather have Buka if I can wait, James. If you're like 1 win or 0 wins, maybe you can't wait. And I'd understand that because it's a long wait that you got it. But then again, like the bye week, it really might only be one game. It's one game in a bye week. Everyone has a bye. So I'm going to say hold Buka unless you're 0 wins or 1 win. If I play Debo, should I go with Otten or Ertz? I don't think of things like that where I'm trying to mix and match like it's like I'm dressing myself. If I go with this plaid shirt, do I go with the cargo Carnegie wallet? Like what I don't think it matters. I think you pick the best players. I think Otten is probably the higher upside guy. Ertz is safer, regardless of Debo. I'm going to probably say Otten anyway. Give me Otten. Smitty, I got mostly Commanders players. That's unfortunate. You never want to stack one team, my boy. JD5, Debo, JCM, still trade DJ Moore for Terry. But You know, that does complicate it, but it's still the best player in the deal. And you probably want to make a trade at some point if you can. I don't like stacking players from one team because if they go down or JD5 goes down, then what in the hell do you do? But I definitely still take McLaurin. Fannin or Taylor this week. Mason Taylor, I'd rather go Fannin. Fannin's an outstanding choice this week and going forward for the next foreseeable future until Njoku comes back. And even if Njoku comes back, at that point, he might totally be in his bag and on his horse. So definitely love our boy Fannin all the way, baby. Fannin to the mother freaking moon. How do I feel about Brown against Minnesota? I would probably say, like, it depends on your options, my boy. Because AJ Brown, I assume you mean AJ Brown. AJ Brown is a complaining diva right now that has a quarterback that can, if he's lucky, throw for 100, 150 yards. If you include underhand passes, you know, the granny throws. I don't know. At any moment, AJ Brown could have 100 and a touch. I don't think you can sit AJ Brown. I just don't think you can sit him. It depends on your option, though. But I do hope AJ Brown gets traded because I think AJ Brown, if he goes somewhere else, could thrive. You know, and it's kind of like Pickens. Pickens, you heard me say all offseason, Pickens, we need him to get traded. If he gets traded, it changes the game. As soon as he got traded to Dallas, your boy loved him. Your boy promoted him. Your boy said to draft him. Go get him. It's going to be amazing. Pickens has been fantastic. Have we not crushed the Pickens advice on the channel? Have we not?
Mashed potatoes!
Have we not done it? Have we not done it? And have we not done it live?
Now deck attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb.
So, yeah, here we are. How do you feel about AJ Brown against Minnesota? That's how I feel about AJ Brown. Would you trade Pittman for Higgins? I would rather have Higgins. I think the way Joe Flacco is playing, I never thought I'd say that. The way Joe Flacco is playing right now, you got to go Higgins. Smitty, Bill versus the Swiss Cheese Dallas D, or Olave, Worthy, Mason for flex. I'll probably say, chat, can we vote Bill or Olave or Worthy or Mason? Bill, Olave, Worthy, Mason. Bill, Olave, Worthy, Mason. Please vote for this flex spot. This is damn close. I want to say Bill. I'm going to say Bill, I suppose. The Dallas Cowboy defense is absolutely, yeah, Swiss cheese is the perfect way to describe it. But, I mean, Worthy's tough to sit. It's a pretty safe call. Smitty, I made a trade and I need your opinion. One man QB, I have JD5 and had Dak as well. So I traded Dak for Scary Terry straight up and picked up T-Law off waivers. Now my wide receivers are Rice, Ladd, Sutton, Terry Golden. I'm fine with that trade overall. Would I've tried to get a different receiver that was playing and fully back like a Ladd McConkey? I'd much rather have a Ladd McConkey. But I like Scary Terry. Like I said, I would trade for him. And thank you for the $20 hauler, by the way.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I like Scary Terry, but I don't think I'd stop there. I think I'd try and turn Scary Terry into Ladd. I think J-Mo's also a very nice potential player, very similar. And thank you for that $20 hauler, bro. You're the man, the myth, the legend. My Gibbs and Scat for Adunze Saquon, 1 and 5. Give me Gibbs and Scat. You could trade Scattaboo for Adunze straight up if you wanted and keep Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I'm saying, Fez? You're trying to go the long way around. Just go straight through, baby. Chutes and ladders. Get on the ladder. Go straight for the win. What are we doing this sidestep nonsense for? Scattaboo and just a small piece will get you an Adunze type player. Go get Ladd. Got offer Mahomes for my Herbert and MHJ. I take Mahomes and run. Mahomes hasn't even started. Mahomes has been playing with one hand handcuffed behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? What are we really doing here? Flacco. Yeah, Flacco looks good, man. He looked really, really good. This is a wild year Daniel Jones, Flacco. Imagine if you woke up from a coma right now. You got put in a coma in about February. And you woke up right now and I'm slapping you. I'm like, wake up. And you go, what's going on around the NFL? And Daniel Jones is called Indiana Jones. We call him Doctor. And he's doing great. And Joe Flacco is balling out to who's he throwing to? Oh, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 27,000 targets. Rice or Bowers? Rice. I mean, I assume Bowers isn't playing, but like overall Rice, and obviously this week, Adams and Fannin. If this is a trade, because of the way you asked the first question, I would say Adams. If it's not a trade, I would say Adams. Thank you for the super chat, young man. Appreciate you. Wake up. Wake up from a coma. Trey Henderson's being treated like Bijan his rookie year. Woody, start Hendy or Woody? Probably Hendy, but I really like Woody still. I have a feeling Woody's going to resurge. No pun intended, no pause needed. That's fully intentional. Or drop one, start Spears. I'm not starting Spears yet. Woody's probably safer. The Woodmaster's probably safer, but Hendy, it's hard. Yeah, you know what? This week maybe you do go with the woodchucker. I probably would. Ladd this week. I there's no way he's not getting used. You know what I mean? Ladd or Higgins. I would go Ladd right now. I think Ladd is a low-end wide receiver one. We're buying the boy. Don't miss the woodchucking. Don't drop the woodchucker. Don't put him on the wire. Does international games cause concern for Kyron Williams? International games cause concern for everybody. They're never good. But we've had players play well before. And we've had low-scoring games, which can be conducive to running, so it's hard to say. I hate London games. Did the Achane Pittman trade for Hall, Rice, Vidal? Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It's I'm not saying I regret telling you that, Travis. I'm just saying it's such a big trade. Like you are absolutely maneuvering around some talent. It's like taking a Rolls Royce and exchanging it out for a Lambo, and you're not sure which one is worth more because it could be the limited edition Lambo. I mean, this is a tough call. The only thing that makes me feel really good in this trade, and chat, let me know if you agree, so Travis feels really good about this trade, is that Achane's in a volatile world. Rice lives in glory. He lives in glory land, touchdown land, Mahomes land. Hall could get traded to that environment, and if he doesn't, he's still going to get leaned upon, or he's going to make a stink and get traded. Vidal is a top 15 running back right now until further notice, maybe top 13 to 15 potentially, and so I really like the trade for you. Achane lives in volatility, so Travis, I really like the move for you. Guys, vote on that one if you can, for our boy Travis, who dropped a $20 hauler earlier. Appreciate you very much. I would do it again. I only pause just because this guy is, whenever you're dealing Achane or Rice, either way, you're just like, wait a minute. No love for Mason Taylor this week. Who said no love for Mason Taylor this week? It sounds like you're putting words in my mouth. Saying, damn, no love for Mason Taylor this week, Smitty. Who said no love for Mason Taylor? When did I say those words? The thing is, I didn't at all. You heard me like a player that I like better than Mason Taylor, and I said, Fannin. That's what you heard. 2 and 4 non-PPR. Love, Kyler, Genty, Hall, Vidal, Puka, BTJ, Garrett Wilson, Bowers, Waller, trade. Start 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Genty, probably Vidal is your. Oh no, you're doing 1 running back. So Vidal might be. Let's see. Puka, I don't know what to tell you this week. BTJ, I guess BTJ and Rice are your two wide receivers. You're listing them kind of like all over the place, out of order. Putting Rice last, like what are we doing there, bro? Show some damn respect for Rice. What are we doing listing him last? Bowers, can't play him right now. Waller, but like moving forward, it's a really good squad, and you just hope that either RJ Harvey rises up, Vidal continues to ball, or Hall gets traded or gets back on track. I like the team a lot. I don't think I'm making any moves, and your injuries make your starters a very easy call. You can only start Rice and BTJ right now anyway, so your lineup is set for you. But I think you got a good squad. I think next week we look at some potential trade opportunities for you. MHJ or Scary Terry rest of season. Probably Scary Terry once he's back, but he's got to be back. Keenan Allen and Hendy for May or JD5. I would take JD5, then Drake May. I still think JD5 slightly over Drake May, but it's really damn close, bro. Burden or Hunter. Probably Hunter, because Burden's now not in the exact same position because DJ Moore's out of the hospital, not even on the injury report, bro. So do I think he plays? He's not even on the injury report. So what do you think of your team? JD Dowdle stepping up in the nick of time. Chase Brown looking pretty good. But yeah, I'd probably say you wait on Buka. I love Rice. Maybe a Debo or Worthy. McBride for one. JJ for one. James Cook doubted right now. Achan, Saquon or Henry. Go get something like that. Or you're trading Dowdle and Debo for one of those players. Austin, go do it live, my boy. Ladder Higgins again, lad. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Start Hendy, Woody. I'm starting Woody, drop one for Spears. No, I'm starting Woody this game. But I could waiver, and I reserve the right to change my mind up until kickoff, so you might want to re-ask that one last second. Considering starting Luke McCaffrey against the Cowboys, Debo questionable. I mean, if Debo sits, sure. Yeah, I think it'd be a fantastic swap out. And it's a very comfortable one because you can wait up until kickoff of that game. You don't get screwed. But am I starting Luke McCaffrey over starting Debo Samuel? Probably not. Are you crazy too? No. You're not. You're not. Super chat here from Waba. Appreciate you with your super, my guy. 4 and 2. Would you trade CMC? Oops. Would you trade CMC for Genty and Adams? Chat, can we vote on this one? This is kind of a combo that comes up a lot. My only starters are K9. Would you trade Christian McCaffrey for Genty and Adams? He's got Rice, BTJ, K9. He's hurting. Buddy's 4 and 2. So is that enough? Genty and Adams for CMC. Please vote on that one if you could. Would you trade CMC for Genty and Adams? Let's see what the chat votes. Yes, not enough. Easy, yes. I think Judkins is another option. Yeah, Judkins would be another option. I don't mind that. I'd probably rather have Genty over Judkins though, but it's close. BTJ for ETN and Bowers. BTJ for ETN and Bowers. BTJ. I would take ETN and Bowers pretty easily. It's a great question. Traded my Dowdle and Pacheco for Judkins. I'd rather have Judkins by quite a bit. That's a nice trade. That could change, but we'd have to see something significant happen with Dowdle in a great direction to regret it. I asked earlier to pick 2 of Bill, Dowdle, Vidal, Evans, Tet. Would you trade Tet and Dowdle for Barkley? I would. I think that would be a good little gamble to make. And if it doesn't work out, it was a good attempt. I mean, it was logical. Should I try and move either Scat or Judkins, maybe BT, to get Henry? I'd rather have Judkins over Henry. So no. Scat, some would argue they'd rather have Scat than Henry. So I guess and so if you're trading Scat and BTJ for Henry, that you're paying old Henry price. Like, you could trade BTJ for Henry. You could trade Scat for Henry. You don't trade both of them for Henry. You could trade for Henry and something and do some creative 2-for-2. Trade my Tucker Kraft for Bowers. I would take Bowers in a heartbeat. And again, he's sitting one game, then has a bye week. It's not like he's missing 2 games. Start 2 running backs: Dobbins, JCM, Rico, and Hendy. We're gonna go. Man, I guess I go JCM and Rico. Start 2 at the running back. Yeah. Start 2 at running back. Starters are Dak. Okay. Benching Fields, Buka. Any trade suggestions? Not really, unless you can move, let's say, because you got Rice, London, Lamb. If you could start all 4, then I don't mind standing down, I guess. But if I could only start 3, I'm probably trying to trade Pickens and Rico for like one H-hand type of like monster, my boy. Like something crazy like that. That would be a fantastic maneuver for you. The Isaacs is offered AJB for Scatman. I like that. They countered Scat and Waddle for my AJB and Pacheco. I would take Scat and Waddle. Yeah, wait. Offered AJB for Scatman. They countered with Scat and Wandell. I'm sorry. I read Waddle. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't change anything. Pacheco and Waddle. So I'm fine with that. I'd probably take the Scatman. I thought that was Waddle you were getting. Trade Saquon for Bucky and Rashad White. I'd probably rather have Bucky and Rashad White have that combo. But chat, what do you think on that? Can you vote if possible? Rashad White and Bucky or Saquon? Snagged Puka for BTJ, Golden, and Hubbard. I love that. That's great, Nate. Bucky White. Bucky White. Bucky White. All right, let's see here. What else we got? We went live a little early tonight. And that probably means we're going to end a little early tonight, and then we'll come back hopefully right around midnight Eastern instead of later. So that should be good for the later show, being a little earlier. But we did go live a little early on purpose tonight. Looks like we've been live for, 48 minutes? Bill and Igbuka for Genti and Wilson. You mean Garrett Wilson? What are we doing here? Is this Garrett? Do you mean Garrett Wilson? Clarify for me on this Wednesday, just so I know what you're talking about.
Motion detected.
Barkley ain't getting the balls at the goal line, says Jake. Wentz over Stafford this week. No, I'm starting Stafford. Anything can happen, though, with Wentz. Garrett Wilson, okay. Bill and Igbuka for Genti and Garrett Wilson. I would take Genti and Garrett Wilson, but it's arguable. Russian collusion with the $10 super chat. Appreciate Russian. Thoughts on Chase Brown this week? Think it's good growth or just one game? No, I think it was really good. We talked about it during the game. He looked really, really fantastic. And he only got 11 carries and had 100 yards. I mean, or something around there. He did great. He did great. He looked elusive. He looked good. I love that people gave up on him. And honestly, the way that Flacco is playing, I think he rebounds. I think he totally rebounds. I think now that they know they've got something and they're feeling really good and fluid with the offense, Now defenses are going to literally step back and try and contain this passing attack. That's going to be great for the next contest. Got Kyren, Travis Hunter for Pickens, and Jordan Mason. Did I win? Kyren and Hunter for Pickens and Mason. I'd rather have Kyren and Hunter, but it's arguable, but Kyren to me all day. None, appreciate your $5 super chat. Bijan, Kyren, and ETN as my running backs. Wide receivers are Sutton, Golden, and because Wilson, Pearsall are hurt. Lamar's my QB. Trade Bijan or Kyren for wide receivers. I'm not trading Bijan unless someone's giving me Nico and Achane. You know, so if you can find somebody with that kind of offer, you know, St. Brown and Genty, you know, even though you have, you don't have Genty. I'd rather trade ETN, keep Bijan and Kyren, or if you have ETN and Tootin, I could trade Kyren. But yeah, I mean, you better go get a mother freaking JJ using Kyren. You know, if you use ETN, you could potentially get a Nico, honestly, for ETN if you throw in something. But Lab McConkey will be a real cheap move, like Garrett Wilson you could trade Garrett Wilson for like Aladdin something. You could trade Garrett Wilson for Adams. You know, go that route, replace Garrett Wilson. Or you just wait. I'm not trading Bijan though, unless I'm getting the world, bro. The absolute world. 1-for-1 wide receiver wise for Kyren. I would be intrigued by, and I guess tempted to trade Kyren for, let's say, JJ, Nico, Rice, London, maybe a Dunze bye week free with an additional player, or a 2-for-2, you know, creative 2-for-2 that helps you with that second player. Thank you for the super chat, my boy. Appreciate you. Trade Worthy for Dobbins. I would rather have Worthy than thank you for the super chat, Oni. I'd rather have Worthy. But fair if you needed a running back. Better take a lap if Mason Taylor outscores Fannin. I don't have to take nothing, Viz. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. Just because you think I hate, just because, and I appreciate you, I'm not mad at you, but just because you put words in my mouth saying what, no love for Taylor, I didn't say anything of the sort. But it's a close call, but with any of these guys. But I'm rolling with Fannin. We're a Fannin people over here. Fannin to the moon. But I mean, that's not even one I'd place a wager on. Anything could happen. But I do believe Fannin is the bigger, stronger, better player by far. I mean, he's definitely more talented. I mean, you know that, right? You do understand that, right? You do understand that Mason Taylor might be fed more targets, especially with Garrett Wilson down. But you do realize that Fannin is 10 times the athlete and player that Mason Taylor is, right? Non-PPR Stafford, Love, Adams, Rice, McConkey, Pittman, Jacobs, Cooks. Any moves do you see I can package for a potential upgrade? I would probably strongly consider moving. Is this James Cook? Because you say Cooks, but I'm pretty sure you mean James Cook. I would probably, I don't know. This team, you're probably waiting a week. Let Rice do his thing. Let Adams have a monster game because Puka's out. Let McConkey do his thing. Jacobs, you could potentially divide and conquer him into like a Judkins and an upgrade your... you could upgrade something like Adams into Nico or whatever. If I could take Jacobs into Judkins or Genty and upgrade my Adams into JJ or something, I could do that. That would be an outstanding potential move. Nice squad, though. Made a trade. Achane got vetoed. Got offered Worthy and Scat. Made a trade for Achane. Got vetoed. Offered Worthy and Scat. Kind of dumb you can't make trades like that. I would much rather have Achane. but just so stupid. Somebody can't believe in scat that much if they wanted to. Was offered Brees for a Doomsday. I countered Mason and Johnston for Brees. I assume that's Jordan Mason. There's Tyler. There's Mason Taylor. Some people speak differently. I assume it's Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason and Quentin Johnston for Brees. I like that. Hampton on IR. I think that's good. Was offered Brees. I'd take Brees. Well, actually, you know what? Guys, we keeping a Doomsday, right? Let's keep a Doomsday, I suppose. He's bye week free. I don't know. You got Genty, London Rice, Hunter, Fannin. Vidal's playing great right now. You got Vidal and Hampton. I'm not saying that that's the best running back two ever, but it's very safe. And as long as you can use a Doomsday, and I think you can start all three with Doomsday, Rice, and London, I'd probably keep a Doomsday. I like Brees a lot, but I don't know what his situation is right now. Let's keep a Doomsday with the bye week out of the way. And then if he has a big game, bro, I think you could trade him for a better running back, to be honest. Russian collusion. Made a trade, my Igbuka, ETN, and Waller for CD, Rice, and Scat. Love it. Of course you want it. It's an amazing trade. I mean, CD's the best player in the deal. Love Igbuka, but CD's the best player in the deal, especially when you consider the injury. It's Mason and QJ for Brees. Did I read it wrong? Okay. If it's Mason and QJ for Brees, I'd take Brees Hall all day. Maybe I read it wrong. Sorry. If Travis is right, then I would definitely trade Mason away for that. Trade Dowdle for Sutton. I'd probably rather have Sutton in a situation where I need a receiver, but I think Dowdle could be higher risk but higher reward. So that's a tough call. Russian, you did great on your trade, bro. Fantastic job. Brock Bowers for Jake Ferguson. I'd rather have Brock Bowers. Guys, I will see you at midnight Eastern. I'm sorry to jump early tonight. We did go live for an hour. I have something I'm going to, so I wanted to go live a little early. I want to dip in. Whenever I got to go early, I dip into the 5 o'clock hour just to make sure we're here and people aren't like, where's the show? But we will be back at midnight Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Get ready for a hardcore edition, graveyard style of the Fantasy Football Show. Appreciate every single one of you. See you tonight. J Flo slipping one in at the end here. J Flo, appreciate you. Who should I use as flex? Dowdle, Hendy, Sharps, or Bourne, or Tez? I don't think you could sit Dowdle right now, bro. This doesn't seem like a wise move. All right, I'll see you all at midnight Eastern. So roughly like 3 hours from now. Appreciate you all. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all. You guys rock. Appreciate all the super chats. You're all monsters in my book. Thank you very much. Don't forget to get on over to the live chat Patreon. 24/7 live chatting. 365 24/7 help. Here's the link for the Patreon. Boom. Don't forget to go get that pair of Gunners. It's pinned. Do we have it pinned in the live chat? I don't think we have it pinned in the live chat. Let me drop the link one more time. Here's the link. Get your pair of Gunner sunglasses like your boy's wearing right now. Gunner glasses. Link is being dropped right now. Boom. There it is. I'll pin it in the live chat on the way out the door. Get yourself a pair of these bad boys. Let's go to the Gunner rack real quick.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
These are probably my favorite, the Clicks. I love these bad boys. I want to get a pair of the amber, dark amber orange version of these. These are my favorite by far. Love all of them, though. The Witchers are fantastic. Get yourself a pair of Gunners. That link is in the description. Use code Smitty for 15% off. I'll see you all tonight. Deuce. Thank you, moderators.